Hello, my beautiful human humanoids. Hello again to YouTube land. We're back again with a video. I decided to solicit the advice of some of my followers on Instagram about the type of content they'd like to see while I still flesh out what exactly I want to do with this particular channel. And one of them suggested a list of sorts. So I will be sharing my own personal top 5 favorite soundtracks of all time. For me, anyway. I would like to preface this by saying that I will not be including anything that's from a musical because it kind of goes without saying that if your musical is awesome, your soundtrack is going to be awesome. So, no musicals on this list. Maybe I'll do a list of musicals that I also enjoy on a later date. But today, top 5 movie soundtracks, favorite ones of all time. Number 5, the slot goes to Sucker Punch, which has one of the best soundtracks in direct relation to how terrible the movie is. Like, I own Sucker Punch. I think I still own Sucker Punch. It's one of my guilty pleasure movies because the shit's trash. Like, it's supposed to be all about girl empowerment and shit, and it's just not good. It's not good at all. It's like all fan service. But the soundtrack was fucking phenomenal, with the exception of Army of Me by Bjork. Like, pretty much the entire thing is covers of classic songs. I was never a fan of the original version of the Pixies' Where's My Mind, but the version on here is phenomenal, as well as the cover of Asleep, which I thought Emily Autumn's version was my favorite, but no, Emily Browning is where it's at. Not to mention that fucking Skunk Anansi version of Search and Destroy. Like, yes. So, number 5, Sucker Punch soundtrack. Great soundtrack, trash film. Number 4, originally I was going to give it to Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Because I was like, that's a fun one that people wouldn't expect of me. But then I remembered myself. I don't even remember how it came. Oh, I was thinking about another one that I wanted to do, and brain went off and did its thing. Josie and the fucking Pussycats, which is a totally underrated fucking movie, does not get nearly as much love as it deserves. It was a piece of art for the time that it was created. The soundtrack is amazing. Fucking letters to Cleo for doing the actual fucking vocals for Josie and the Pussycats. But seriously, and Du Jour is like the best boy band that never actually existed. I would totally go see Du Jour. And it's not just because I love me some Donald Faison and Seth Green, but the band was actually pretty fucking legit. So, number 4 definitely goes to Josie and the Pussycats. Number 3, the Queen of the Damned soundtrack. Okay. So I was in 8th grade when this movie came out. My mom was a huge Anne Rice fan, like used to read all the shit. So when this came out, it was like, Annalea was in it. Yes, we were going to go. And fucking Jonathan Davis did the vocals for Singing Lestat. Like, it just checked all the boxes. Hell yeah, we went to go see that shit in fucking theaters. Now, it was around the time of my 8th grade graduation, and my mom was dating a gentleman at the time who asked me what I wanted for my graduation gift, and I was... See, y'all kids these days probably don't even know what this struggle is. Like, I had to make it really, really clear, like super clear. You have to get the one with the parental advisory on it. Like, if you get the one without it, it's gonna be censored. And I fucking hate censored music. Like, I get like having cuts for like the radio and shit like that, but who's looking for a full album of it? Like, it's just, it takes you out of the experience, and then everybody censors it differently. Some of them just kind of smudge the word out, some of them bleep it, some of them try an awful variation there. Just, it's no good. So I was like, look, I have to have the parental version, like the parental advisory version. I need all of my swears and all of my aggression, for I am 14 and the embodiment of angst. Do not deny me this simple pleasure in life. Which he didn't, which was great, because I played this shit all the time. Anytime I was going to go downtown to meet my mom for lunch, Queen of the Damn soundtrack. Anytime a friend pissed me the fuck off, Queen of the Damn soundtrack. Like, the slightest inconvenience, and I was up in my feelings and angry, oh, that was that shit. That was my angry album. That was my, the world doesn't get me album, and I love it for everything that it is, everything that it was. While I am always saddened that we did not get to enjoy the Jonathan Davis vocals on the actual soundtrack, the stand-ins that he chose for him were absolutely phenomenal. I really, really like David Draymond on Forsaken. Really caught me off guard. Fucking Chester Bennington, may he rest in peace. Oh, his system was just... The one that I wasn't the most crazy about was Redeemer with Marilyn Manson. I don't feel like it was his strongest performance, but, you know, I still appreciate it for what it was. So yeah, number 3, Queen of the Damn soundtrack. Number two, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I fucking love Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I have read the entire manga, graphic novel, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I've seen the fucking movie. I fucking dressed up as Ramona Flowers one year for Halloween. I played the fuck out of the Xbox Live video game. If y'all didn't get to play that, y'all missed the fuck out, because that shit was tight. I am so sorry. My heart bleeds for you. And the soundtrack, like, I'm not a Beck fan by any stretch of the imagination. Like, he pops up on shit and I'm like, okay, it's Beck. Meh. But what he did with the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack is just, it's like, it's the perfect road trip music. It's like fucking quintessential artsy hipster, like, Chicago talk, live in Pilsen 7 deep in an apartment, throw like fucking concerts in the warehouse district, like, oh, just perfection. Like, Garbage Truck, a love song I didn't expect to want or need, yet here we are. Some of the choices for like the throwback artists and stuff, oh, fucking is it Sleazy Bed Track? I'm terrible with the titles, but that one is a sleeper jam. Of course, Black Sheep by Metric was just phenomenal. Always fun to belt out. Summertime. Just, if you've not listened to the Scott Pilgrim versus the World soundtrack, get your life right. Treat yourself. Go do that. The only thing that sucks is that the version on Spotify does not have the Crash and the Boys songs on it. So unfortunately, like, you need to have an actual copy of the soundtrack for that, which I used to have but don't know more for reasons. But yeah, excellent. Really, really good soundtrack. And for the coveted #1 spot on me, random person on the internet's opinion of things, #1 all-time favorite soundtrack of all time, forever and always, until the fucking end of days, Romeo and Juliet. It is, as far as I'm concerned, the perfect movie soundtrack. I have yet to find anything that resonates with me nearly as strongly as it does, or as it has. I have been listening to that soundtrack since I was 6 or 7 years old, and I was about to be 32 in like less than a week. So it's got some staying power. Like, it is the perfect, if like you wanted to show someone the representation of like alternative rock music in the mid-90s, slide them the Romeo and Juliet fucking soundtrack. It covers all the fucking bases. You got fucking Butthole Surfers, you've got fucking Everclear, you've got fucking Cardigans with their fucking mega hit Love Fool. Like, oh my god, from Garbage to the Wannadies, and just, it's this great mix of like upbeat kind of teeny bopper dance music, but also it has like these strangely melancholy tracks. Like, I love Little Star. It's not a song that I would normally listen to, but the connection to the film is so strong that I can immediately conjure the exact scene that it was playing, and I can start rolling it back in my head as we speak. The cover of fucking When Doves Cry by Quentin Tarver, that child with that range, that body with that voice, oh my God. And one of my all-time favorite Happy songs is on there. And it's technically not really a song, it's a speech, but Everybody's Free to Wear Sunscreen, which features a graduation speech that Baz Luhrmann gave to the class of 97 or some shit like that. It's listed in the song, but it's really, really long, and it's really, really worth it every fucking time. Just whenever I get like really kind of super lost in my head and like thinking too hard about shit and doubting myself, as one tends to on occasion, and it's just the perfect pick-me-up. So if you haven't listened to it, highly recommend it. I haven't listened to it in a while, which might be why I've been like so meh. But you know, maybe I'll go ahead and give it a listen again. So those are my top 5 favorite soundtracks of all time. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you think my tastes are absolute fucking shit? Drop your top 5 in the comments below. I'd love to just check them out, see how I feel about them, so on and so forth. If you like this type of content, go ahead and give me a like. Give me a like because you want to validate my existence. And without your likes, I'm all like, nobody cares, so I won't. No. But seriously, go ahead and like it, subscribe if you want to see more, turn on the bell notification or something like that. And, you know, if you just want to see me on a regular basis, you should follow me on Instagram, Violet Vixen. I'll go ahead and tag that in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me on this tour of my favorite things, and we will see you in the next video soon. Yes. Bye.